What's up, everybody? And today we're gonna talk about Sun Wukong. I did tweet this out that this was gonna be my next scaling video. I've been really swamped and dumped with like a lot of work, and this is my good time. I'm glad I'm on break right now. But follow me on Twitter if you haven't followed me on Twitter. Follow me on Discord. I mean, join my Discord. Follow me on Twitch. I will be streaming because, like I said, I am on break from school. Let's get into the Sun Wukong video. This is not gonna be like a super in-depth video. This is really just gonna talk about like his powers, his feats, how powerful he is. Not really gonna get into details on everything that he did, because then this would be a very long video, and I don't really have the patience for super long videos. 22 minutes, 30 minutes. Some stuff like that is good for scaling videos, in my opinion. But anyway, let's continue on. So according to legend, Sun Wukong is born from a magic stone that sits atop the mountain flowers and fruit. That stone was a magic, had a magic womb which burst upon one day to produce a stone egg about the size of a ball. Within that stone egg and came out of that stone egg was a monkey, and that monkey is who we know as Sun Wukong. Going by the Chinese mythos, his eyes move. Two beams of golden light shoot toward the Jade Palace and startle the Jade Emperor. When he sees the light, he orders two of his officers to investigate. They report the stone monkey and that the light is dying down as the monkey eats and drinks. The Jade Emperor believes him to be nothing special. On the mountain, the monkey befriends various animals and groups of monkeys. After playing, the monkeys regularly bathe in a stream, and one day he decided to jump down into a stream of the stream's source, which was a waterfall from a mountain, and it was stated that whoever jumps into that waterfall and they come out, they could be influentially claimed. I say influential. They will become, if they come back out, they will become their king. Excuse me. So he actually does this. He does this just for giggles and laughs and to play around. But he told everybody else to jump in, and they did. And he actually came out, and they all declared him their king. So along these things, he actually acquires his golden bandit staff. He acquires his chain mail, which is like it was golden. He had phoenix feather caps, and he had cloud walking boots. He ends up, he's able to call upon Nimbus with his cloud. He's much like really, he's literally who Goku is based off of Chinese mythos. And Sun Wukong, he demonstrates that the new weapon to his followers and draws the attention of other beastly powers as well. It was like all of the kings, like the Lion Spirit King, the Rock Demon King, the Single Horn Demon King, the Snub Nose Monkey Spirit King, the Bull Demon King. He was just drawing everybody to his attention or whatnot. And he deemed himself also as the Handsome Monkey King, and he prides himself on that name also. So you know that's basically like a rundown of who he was. Now we're gonna get into his powers and things of that sort. um, the main thing about Sun Wukong that I found was really cool was the fact that he had 72 transformations. Now his 72 transformations, albeit they're transformations, but in you know um my personal vocabulary for what he does show, those transformations are mainly shape shifting into other animals. That's mainly what he showed. He can transform into like stronger versions of himself, but as far as like transformations goes, like what he transforms into like a rhinoceros at one point, transforms into a butterfly at one time, and transforms into like a tiger, a lion, things of like that. That's shape shifting. I think that should be like categories as that. But anyway, he's able to clone and multiply himself. Like he was able to do like I don't even they didn't, I can't remember if it was stated in the Chinese mythos book, but in the movie and like in other TV specials and things like that, he was able to do 1,000 like in an instant like that from just his hairs and things like that. So he's able to utilize flight, energy manipulation, light manipulation, which is his power, is using light. He's able to use fire as well. Um, he's able to manipulate the wind, the weather, teleportation, paralysis, and he all of his forms, scales even higher. He's able to reality warp. He's able to become non-corporal and see things that see through disguises and illusions. And any transformations when he puts on like this, it's like it's like he activated Sharingan almost, or so. So he puts his hand across his eyes and then he can see through anything. So he has like resistance to mind manipulation and all that stuff. Um, he has matter manipulation. He himself has mind manipulation. He has a casualty. He has omnipresence and nigh omniscience, and he has time manipulation as well. As go with that with soul manipulation. Like this man is really really powerful for a lot of different reasons. Um, he has immunity to fire and water, barriers, can break any lock. He has resurrection, one life for every 72 transformation, as it was stated. So that means any animal, he can transform to. They gave him like 71 lives, 72 lives plus his own. But that don't even matter since he ends up erasing his name from the book of the world and of life and death, which was in hell, meaning he already was gaining longevity. So since he gained longevity, he can't pass away or die by like regular causes. So um, he's already immortal in him by gaining 72 lives. They're just stacked on top of that. Then on even top of that further, this man ends up becoming like second to God, the Brahman, Buddha, you know, the Chinese mythos God, the omnipotent God or whatnot in the verse. So he's able to tap into a power that's called Buddha Wukong. That means his power is that of relative to that of the omnipotent Buddha. He becomes nigh omnipotent when he's in that form. And he, that man is powerful, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Um, he was able to defeat everybody in heaven, and heaven is it's like I don't even. It's so hard to actually gauge this completely because he was able to cross that of all like the freaking worlds and verses and things. Like he went from like Earth to like space to like past all of that the galaxy, which the galaxy itself is infinite. Like the Milky Way by itself, it was stated to be infinite in size and infinitely expanding. So that right there is already bigger than anything in the real world because our galaxy is not infinite in size and infinitely expanding. It's like compared to a regular normal universe, and the galaxy was just constantly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you have in this universe of Chinese mythos, you have an entire universe, just one universe of over trillions of galaxies that's this just exactly the same, but like infinite in size and infinitely expanding. And he crossed all of that just to get to heaven. And when he got to heaven, oh boy, he whooped everybody's ass. Excuse my language, but he did. He started going on terror. You know, he was almost unstoppable. Well, he was unstoppable to be honest. Nobody could stop him. The Jade Emperor, he was universal in power. He defeated, if I remember correctly, he defeated over 600,000 pantheons of gods, of which were the embodiment of 28 constellations that lifted the entire Milky Way galaxy, which in mythology, like I just said, in their mythology, talked about the whole entire universe or whatnot. It's infinite in size and infinite expandingly. So you just have to. So picture that. You're defeating 600,000, over 600,000 pantheons of gods who were the embodiments of 28 constellations. They were able to lift the entire Milky Way galaxy, and he defeated all of that. Like I ain't no joke. He was going in on them too. He was beating their ass. Like they couldn't do nothing. Every time they guarded up against him, he broke through that like no diff. So that's at least high universe level. Um, like I said, the entire verse reading it is like every guy is able to like have a there's like parallel worlds on top of parallel worlds. Chinese mythos is stated to be above all concepts of time, space, and anything conceptually. in this world. That's that's beyond anything we can comprehend. That means, say for instance, take the fact that we know that there's like other dimensions, or the highest dimensions like the omnipotence and things like that. But say for instance, we're in the third dimension. There's a fourth dimension, field, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, so forth, so forth. We know that there's constantly, infinitely a bigger dimension than the next and the next, and concepts of time, time and space. When there's no time and space, there's nothing. You get a fifth, that's like the fifth, sixth, and go on. The thing about it is, if the Chinese mythos is beyond all concepts of what we know. That means we can't even fathom or comprehend or begin to even see what we're looking at. If we're talking about Chinese myth though, this just means that they're beyond anything that we have ever known to this date. Meaning, they're more than likely metaversal. It's crazy because they're saying it transcends absolutely everything possible and exists merely as a boundless entity. That means there is no boundaries, there's no limitations, there is no concepts when it comes to Chinese mythology as a whole. So, him, when he goes Buddha, he becomes boundless, he becomes free of limitation. He is far beyond anything that we possibly can fathom. It's weird to me though, but Sun Wukong was able to reach this level. He managed to achieve nirvana that transcends all concepts and boundaries and ascension to a state of absolute boundlessness existing outside all of existence, concepts, and dimensions. He was literally next to Buddha, the Brahman, omnipotent. And another thing, Sun Wukong never lost a fight. He won every single battle. He beat every single enemy, every single foe that he came across. Uh, he was able to become omnipresent. Because he was able to encompass all of Nirvana and become one with it all. And only person that can trump that, of course, is Buddha. But since Buddha gave him that power to become relative to him, he's not equal, he's not above, he's just relative. That means he has some of his power. He has enough power to be above everybody and become omnipresent and become nigh omnipotent while he's in Buddha Brahman. Like literally, Sun Wukong will whoop ass. like his his power is at this point is really irrelevant, because even if you fight the Sun Wukong, when he first, before he even goes to heaven, you're just, that's a weak Sun Wukong. That's probably like planetary at the most. Not even probably planetary. He might be mountain level or whatnot. But when he goes off and he goes to start learning his powers, learning immortality, doing all these other things, uh, this man becomes just broke. Becomes broken. Um, his durability is, and like without the Buddha, is at least universal level plus through immortality, incapable of being killed by any deity. He wasn't even able to be killed by the Jade Emperor, who's high universe level. But as he's Buddha Sun Wukong, he's free of all limitations, boundaries, and he absolute transcendence. His stamina, he's never shown a sign to be fatigued. I said sign to be fatigued at all. It is believed that he has 9 infinite and 2 infinite stamina, because he's never drained any stamina. And on top of that, he can go Buddha, Son Wukong. Anything with Buddha, you might as well have it in your head and bet it's gonna be nigh something, or maybe that, So just leaving out Buddha, everything that revolving around Buddha, Son Wukong is nigh something. Just know that everything nigh omnipresent, nigh omniscient. Not well. It's stated he is not omniscient, but you know, nigh he's nigh infinite in speed. uh, all that, just all that. Power. metaversal to nigh omnipotent, all of that. So his range, he's able to expand his staff infinitely. That's an actual good thing. That's actual, because that's just regular. That's not even when he's. That's just the staff itself. That's just how strong the staff is. The staff was able to lift the Milky Way galaxy, which is infinite, with no diff. Like, I'm trying to tell you, Son Wukong is crazy, guys. His standard, he he standardly just sticks to combat, hand to hand combat. That's where he excels most at. But he does use other techniques. He's able to do limb multiplication, which he can increase the number of his heads and arms. Typically, assuming like 3 head or 6 arm form. Like all that. Like he did that in a lot of his battles. In his battle against Nezha, he assumed a form with tens of thousands of looking like the first Hokage's sage summoning statue. He's able to use body freeze spell. It's actually one of most his important abilities. It allows him to magically freeze others into immobility with a single syllable and a point of his finger. It's just true. He could just say freeze, you'll freeze. He could stop, you'll stop. You point at you, you're just done. You're frozen. In time. In your own time. Time is still gonna be on, but he can freeze you in your own time. It's crazy. Um, he's able. It was to work on anybody, but except the people that were comparable to him. But nobody's comparable to him anymore because he beat the shit out of everybody in heaven and the demon world and all through the verse to get to become second to that of Broadman. And he's the commander over all of them. If y'all did not know that, he's the second. Second. He's the basically the deity next to the omnipotent. So, he's able to go into anything, water without drowning. He's able to breathe the space. He's able to use like this circle, um, where he could protect you. Like if he'll tell you like don't step outside this circle, and it will be like this little gold like ring around you. It may be small, but it's still around you, and it protects you from anything. It's literally protects you from literally anything. If they aren't above or comparable to Sun Wukong, you can't break it. And from any hack's ability or anything, it knows that you're literally protected. But the moment you step outside of that, only way it can be break is by the person inside that circle. The moment you step outside of that, it's done. You don't have this ability no more. You're not gonna be protected anymore or anything. So that's that's actually good ability. So say for instance, you're in harm's way or something like that, you can put around a protective circle. They can't. Nobody can hit you. Nobody can hurt you. Nobody can do anything to you. So you know that's that's really good. Sun Wukong really don't have that many techniques because, like I said, he's a martial artist mainly, and that's the main thing. He just has strong physical power, man. Strong physical power. He's able, but he's still able to use other abilities like he can reality warp. He can switch the whole scenery around. He can, become non-corporal. He can punch. He can literally hit, use spatial manipulation by moving his hand into the air and or like freaking poking his staff somewhere and it come out somewhere else in the world or something like that. He's able to turn things to like sand, dust, things like that. He don't have big matter manipulation from what I read, but he has a little bit of it. Soul manipulation, of course, he can manipulate your soul and things like that. Especially if you're a demon, don't try to play him. He's able to manipulate your mind as well. So China, in Chinese mythology, Sun Wukong is really somebody to, look up on. You actually read. It's a lot of chapters, like 800 chapters. Uh, let's say 800, 100 chapters. It's like before you go into a journey to the west, it's a whole thing with Sun Wukong there. You can get into Sun Wukong and other material things or whatnot, but basically Son Wukong is that man. Son Wukong is that guy. He's very strong. I can see why Akira Toriyama based him off it. Goku based off of Son Wukong because Son Wukong really is a powerful entity. He's a powerful being, and it's really hard to top that. Top him. But it's not. He's not invisible. He's not invisible. There's other beings out there that are stronger than him. But that is Son Wukong. Guys, that's run down over him. I may do a more in-depth update of this one because this one was kind of rushed a little bit. Not too much, but it was a little bit. I could go further in depth, but that's just a whole lot of information, and I don't have really that time on my hands. But tell me your thoughts down below, or what you think of Son Wukong. Will you check him out? What other characters y'all would like to see? I would just like to see what you guys have in mind. I already have like a whole list of characters that I will do, things like that. There's other videos coming, like Hunter video coming. I'll come out with a next Dragon Ball video in a bit. I gotta get these Fortnite videos and PUBG videos out here too, and things like that. Fighters and stuff. Xenoverse. That's why I said time is kind of not there, but it's there, but it's not there. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Comment your thoughts, and I'll see you niggas later. Peace.